Trotman resigns from Parliament. 9,000 parents didn't uplift school child handout. Vaccines reserved for high-risk patients. And GTE project could cost up to $2 billion US. I am Noriko Bulford, and this is Uncut News. Do you see news happening? Send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6151. Former chairman of the AFC, Raphael Trotman, has resigned from Parliament, and he leaves next week. In a press statement released today, the AFC said Trotman indicated to them since in 2020 that he would be resigning in August of 2022 to allow for rotation and space for new leadership training. So he will resign from the 12th Parliament immediately to honor his promise. Trotman has served as a member of the National Assembly continuously from 1998 to the present, and during that time, he has served as a Speaker of the National Assembly and a member of several important parliamentary committees. Although leaving the National Assembly, Trotman will remain a member of the National Executive Council of the AFC. And according to Demerara Waves, sources say that longtime member Beverly Alert has been tapped to replace Trotman. An investigation by the Guyana Fire Service has found that last month's fire at St. George's High School in Georgetown was electrical in origin. Fire Prevention Officer Sheldon Sons confirmed the cause of the fire yesterday. The blaze completely destroyed the school and displaced at least 400 students. Speaking of burnt-out school buildings, yesterday the Ministry of Education signed a $566.9 million contract for the construction of the North Rumfelt Secondary School. In June 2021, one of the major buildings on campus was completely gutted by a fire. The contract has been awarded to Cares Engineering, with the project consultancy going to engineer Marcel Gaskin. The building will measure 432 feet in length, 30 feet in width, and 42 feet in height. It will have 3 stories and will accommodate 450 to 500 students. The school will be fitted with a chemistry and computer lab, new classrooms, and a modern external structure. The project is expected to be completed in 14 months. Now it's time to tell you about Best Buy's Car of the Week. Currently on sale is the 2016 Suzuki Jimmy Sierra 4-wheel drive. It comes with regular and low-range 4-wheel drive, Bluetooth, mug rims, new tires, TV, CD, stereo, fog lamps, spot camera, and much, much more. Buy cash for $3.4 million. All pay as low as $700,000 down, with around $67,000 monthly for 5 years, and it is yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info. Or visit their showrooms at Lot 171 Peteroshi, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lamashi, and tell them that you get sent you for this sweet deal. According to the Ministry of Education, 9,000 parents did not show up to collect their school child cash handout. The grant has been increased this year to $30,000, and around 194,000 persons were expected to receive a payout. At the conclusion of the first distribution exercise, some 11,000 parents did not get to uplift their grants, and even after the second round, over 9,000 parents have yet to pick up the money. Police in Region 4 busted a car theft ring on the highway after catching a carjacker a day earlier. According to the police, 7 cars and 1 handgun were found Wednesday near St. Cuthbert's Mission after the suspect led them to the site at Long Creek, East Bank, Demerara. The apparent breakup of the car theft ring followed the theft of a Toyota Allion on August 2nd in Suzdai. A 57-year-old man of Middle Road, Vrijdslust, East Coast, Demerara, was jailed for 6 months on Tuesday after pleading guilty to a narcotics-related charge. Michael Singh had admitted to the court that he was in possession of several grams of crack cocaine, for which he was charged. 28-year-old Wayne Bascom, 50-year-old Ishwar Prasad, and 35-year-old Devin Hope were remanded to prison for armed robbery on Saturday at Yarrow Cabra, Suzdijk Linden Highway. They all pleaded not guilty to the charges. Bail was denied, and they were remanded to prison until September 30th, 2022. So, you need a part for your truck, and you looked your eyeballs out and can't find it? Did you check Powered Automotive? Get high-quality DAF, International, Freightliner, Bedford DM, or Scammell truck parts at the lowest prices at Powered Automotive. Visit them at Lot 1161 EE Eccles, or call them on telephone number 697-0171. Save big on truck parts at Powered Automotive, the #1 heavy-duty truck parts store in Guyana. Today, Dr. Frank Anthony said that when the health ministry receives the monkeypox vaccines, they will only be given to persons who have a high risk of infection. Dr. Anthony said, quote, "What they have recommended is not to give it as a pre-exposure prophylactic vaccine, meaning that you give it before someone has been exposed, but rather you give it as a post-exposure vaccine," end quote. He explained that in determining whether someone is a high-risk case, the person has to have been exposed to lesions which can spread the infection. So far, all 10 persons who were connected to the one person who has tested positive in Guyana have all tested negative themselves. Now for today's oil update. Jagdeo says the gas-to-energy power plant has to be in place by 2024. But the natural gas liquids facility may not be completed by then. He said it could come up until 2025 because it is, quote, a bit more complex, end quote. The government has already started receiving bids for the projects from contractors. However, he said the government has made it known that it will only accept designs using Western technology. Thus far, estimates ranged between US $550 million and US $700 million. While the government is responsible for the construction of the onshore plants, Exxon is responsible for building the pipeline and associated facilities to send the gas to the site itself. Exxon had indicated that the pipeline segment is estimated to cost US $1.3 billion. This means the whole project could cost up to $2 billion US. In other oil-related news, since fixing the flaring issues on the Liza Destiny, overall oil production is at 340,000 barrels a day offshore Guyana. This significant increase in production has increased the frequency of oil lifts in turn. Exxon's PR person Janelle Passard said, quote, "Lifts happen on the Destiny. It happens between 7 to 8 days. On Unity, because of production, it happens every 4 to 6 days. And so, lifts are occurring all the time. We're producing over 340,000 barrels of oil per day right now, and so you can imagine how frequent lifts are happening. Prior to this, lifts would occur approximately once per month. It might not be robbery season, but the streets are still mean. That's why you need to get security for your home and business through Sheriff Security Service. Sheriff Security offers well-trained guards, armed and unarmed patrol, marine patrol, K-9 services. These people even got drones. Why? Because your security is their highest priority. You've seen the rest. Now hire the best. Hire Sheriff Security Service today. Now for our uncut news, Viewers Poll question of the day. Every day we pose question on current events in Guyana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it is was. Last night, I asked what can the government and private sector do, as well as individuals, to try to prevent accidents. You all had a lot to say, but unfortunately I can just paraphrase a few of your answers. Sharon Davis says, people need to just slow down. Too many persons believe that driving is speeding. Michael Anthony says, bring back road safety talk on all mediums. Charge delinquent road users, even if it's a bribe. Because if a minibus driver has to pay every time for stopping anywhere, everyone will stand at the bus stop. Chris Cataboli says, Guyana needs a law like New York. If you are guilty of causing any type of accident, the victim's family has a right to sue you for damages and serve some jail time and suspend their driver's license based on the seriousness of the damage. Chavez Wallace says, I think they should assess the roads and put barriers along the road where overtaking is unsafe, like turns. And they should launch a countrywide education blitz about road safety at least twice a year. Install traffic lights in dangerous intersections. Pedestrians should also be more careful when crossing the street and not be distracted. All citizens must play their part and not throw blame on each other. Samuel Ramsey says increase the fines. The law needs an urgent upgrade. Rob Peters says maybe have a graduated system where it takes 2 years before they get their full driver's license. Put a midnight curfew on the beginner's license. Remember, driving is a privilege and not a right. And finally, honorable mention to these suggestions from Dimitri V and from Lash. I didn't forget you all, I just wanted to give everyone else a chance to speak, and unfortunately, we're running out of time for this evening. So, before we get to tonight's question, you can multiply your cash by selling Digicel Top-Up. This is a legit way you can earn some extra money at your business or to supplement your current hustle. Become a top-up vendor quick and easy by linking with Cellular Plus. Call them on telephone number 685-3109 for more info. Now for tonight's question. How do you feel about Raphael Trotman's resigning? Do you think we'll actually see a difference, or will it just be the same? I mean, does it even matter at this point? I really want to hear from you. So, I want you to think about that question. Tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight, and check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Rico Bulford saying good night, folks.